Republicans are now accusing President Joe Biden of bribery with absolutely zero evidence. Marjorie Taylor Greene, Sean Hannity, Chuck Grassley, senators, members of Congress, right-wing media, they're all saying we might even be getting to impeachment of Biden now. Oh, what exactly did he do? Well, we don't know. What's the evidence? Well, we don't have any yet. Let me explain to you the backstory of what's going on. Joe Biden accused by whistleblower of bribery scheme with foreign national. This is reported by Newsweek and many others. A pair of top Republicans in Congress, this is the base of the story. A pair of top Republicans in Congress issued a subpoena for records they say might, and the word might is doing a lot of work here, might detail a criminal scheme involving then Vice President Joe Biden and a foreign national. The White House says it's unfounded and that the claims are motivated by political bias. When you look at who's at the center of this, it's Iowa Republican Senator Chuck Grassley and Kentucky Republican Representative James Comer. James Comer, for months now, probably years, in fact, has been saying Biden's guilty of what? Well, we don't know yet, but he's guilty. And now they've got something. They have an alleged whistleblower making a claim that as of yet is completely unsubstantiated. Now, they've issued a subpoena. They're going to look for evidence. And as I've said before, I'm going to speak very clearly and slowly here. If there is evidence, investigate. If the investigate points to crimes, prosecute. And if there is a conviction, sentence. That applies to Joe Biden. It applies to Hunter Biden. It applies to Hillary, Obama, Trump. That is my perspective on all of this. But we have to at some point say, do we have any evidence whatsoever for what is right now an allegation from a whistleblower? The answer is no. But that doesn't stop all sorts of the usual clowns from coming out and saying it's time. We're going to impeach him. Now, you might say, David, there really aren't credible news outlets taking this seriously right now. And that's right, because there is no evidence at this point in time. So let's start with Marjorie Taylor Greene. She appeared on Lindell TV's Frank Speech War Room. Yeah, I don't know. She says we're getting close to impeachment now.
Well, this is where we are finding true proof linking Joe Biden exchanging money to make real policy decisions on behalf of the United States. It's pay to play. This is a true crime. And this was Joe Biden when he was vice president of the United States. Joe Biden took a money payment from a foreign national in exchange for policy decisions while
Understand there's no evidence for any of this.
He was vice president of the United States. This means that Joe Biden will be impeached. And this is the evidence that we have.
Now understand, there's no evidence. There's just an alleged whistleblower. That's all there is.
Found out, undercovered in only a few months. A few months' time, we were able to do this.
They've undercovered it. It's not even a question of uncovering it. They've undercovered it.
God for the American people that voted to put Republicans in the majority and give us the gavel so that we could have subpoena power to go after the Biden crime family and everything they have done to sell out this country.
Now, remember that Marjorie Taylor Greene was drafting articles for impeaching Joe Biden before any of this stuff came out to begin with. And now they have something to latch onto. Ted Cruz, of course, a bastion of sanity, sober reasoning and moral, being an upstanding moral citizen. Ted Cruz appeared on Sean Hannity's propaganda program on Fox News. And they are also talking about impeaching Biden without having any evidence or substance whatsoever.
From Grassley and Comer. Yeah. And they're saying that they believe the DOJ and the FBI possess an unclassified FD 1023 that describes an alleged criminal scheme involving.
They're not, by the way, alleged is doing a lot of work here. They're not even, all they're saying is they have a whistleblower claiming it. That's all.
Then Vice President Biden and a foreign national relating to the exchange of money for a policy decision. That would be a high crime and misdemeanor, wouldn't it, Senator?
It absolutely would. In fact, it doesn't have to be a high crime or misdemeanor because the Constitution specifies that impeachment lies for treason, bribery, or other high crimes or misdemeanors. Bribery is explicitly noted in the Constitution. And I got to say, the evidence not only against Hunter Biden, but the evidence against Joe Biden being complicit and profiting from this corruption is growing and growing and growing. Every week on my podcast, Verdict with Ted Cruz, I've walked listeners through.
Yeah, that's a hell of a podcast, by the way. So they're talking about impeachment. They've seen no evidence either. Senator Josh Hawley, not Pastor Josh Hawley. Senator Josh Hawley admits he hasn't actually seen any of the evidence, but it should still be up to Democrats to prove Biden is innocent, which isn't exactly the way I remember burden of proof working in the United States.
You know, Senator, who do we think the other country is? We knew the Chinese connection and all that, but this is something new. Do you have any information on that?
No.
I do not. I don't have any.
Isn't that the best? And the funny thing is, that's the answer for all of these guys. I actually don't have any information, but we definitely need to impeach Biden.
Information on what the whistleblowers has alleged in terms of the specific substantive allegations.
Right.
Other than that, there is documentation that the FBI has. And I just say again to those Democrats out there screaming about how Joe Biden is innocent. Joe Biden hasn't done anything. Well, fine. Then show us what you know. Show us what the evidence is in the allegations. Don't be afraid of what the facts are.
There you go. So Josh Hawley making the case that he doesn't have anything, but it's up to Democrats to demonstrate innocence. Then Chuck Grassley did also appear on Fox News. Chuck Grassley is one of the main people here. Chuck Grassley and James Comer issuing the subpoena here to the alleged whistleblower for the allegations that they are making. He is pressed about evidence, and he says, well, we have to wait.
We're wondering exactly what this is all about. According to a press release that was sent out by James Comer's office, it says the information provided by a whistleblower raises concerns that then Vice President Biden allegedly engaged in a bribery scheme with a foreign national. He goes on to say the American people need to know if President Biden sold out the United States to make money for himself. Senator Grassley and I will seek the truth to ensure accountability for the American people. Well, that really whets our appetite as to exactly what this is all about. Does this have to do with Hunter Biden's foreign business dealings in
Right.
Ukraine or China, or is it something else?
Well, I guess basically we've got to wait to see what the document exactly says.
Right.
But I'm convinced that we've got to get this detail. And at this time, the FBI needs to explain whether it's accurate or not.
Yeah. Did they learn nothing from the Dominion lawsuit and the $787.5 million settlement over on Fox News? And then we have one from Newsmax as well. Newsmax is very, very concerned about this, as I'm sure you can imagine.
Wait, it says specifically, the release today, that the vice president may have altered policy for money, a bribery scheme. He may have actually changed policy. Have you narrowed it down to what policies, or can you at least tell me, if you have, what area? If you can't say specifically, what do you know about it, sir? Congressman Fallon.
Oh, Greg, that'll all come out, I think, and it'll come out very soon.
Very soon. Just like it's going to come out with Trump's health care plan, is my guess.
Bottom line is, let's ask another question, very simple one. What business, what product or service did the Bidens ever provide?
Yeah.
There you go. That's a real serious question. So listen, as I've said before, do you have actual evidence against Joe Biden, Hunter Biden? Investigate. Turns out there were crimes. It was legitimate. Charge Biden, charge Hunter Biden, charge Joe Biden. I don't care. I don't care about defending anybody. I don't care about cults of personality around any of these folks. If Bernie committed a crime, charge Bernie. Okay. It's been years of this stuff. And the evidence is just on the tip of our tongues, just beyond the reach of our hands. And yet it doesn't happen. So I'm reminded of, when I think of this whistleblower, I'm reminded of, remember that? I believe the guy's name was Tony Bobulinski or something like that, who was just going to deliver this hammer blow of evidence against, I don't even remember who it was. It was going to clear Trump and all. And then he was interviewed like twice on Fox, and then you never heard from him again because it was all completely bogus. If you've got the evidence, let's see it. But are they really going to do this for the rest of Joe Biden's term? The answer is absolutely yes, they are. I love my car, which is electric. I love my bicycle. And I have to say that the perfect medium in between is my electric bike by Lectric. If you're looking to spend about $800 or so on an e-bike, Lectric is where you want to go. I've tried e-bikes that cost $7,000, and Lectric delivers the same performance and specs, but at a much more reasonable price point. I take my Lectric e-bike everywhere these days. I've almost completely ditched my regular bike for now. E-bikes are, of course, better for the environment than taking a car. The e-bike gives you more flexibility and range than a regular bicycle. You can go further, you can see more. My e-bike is just my favorite form of cardio at this point. It comes fully assembled to your door. It includes a bright LCD display, 7-speed gearing, 5 levels of pedal assist, and a powerful battery that's removable so you can bring it indoors for charging. It's also fully foldable, so I can put it in the back of my car, and they have financing for as little as $73 a month. Go to lectricebikes.com to learn more. Explore all of the incredible e-bike models they offer. The link is down below.